All right, this is our episode of Edge of Nowhere podcast, where we take comedy seriously. Today, we're going to dive deep on Kevin Hart. Loved up.
I don't know what that means.
That's a heartbeat.
Oh. There's his production company.
Yeah.
Heartbeat Productions.
Heartbeat Productions.
Yeah.
He's quite the entrepreneur,
Wow.
that
Yeah.
Kevin Hart. Yeah, those are big words. I'm laying down some big words on this. Entrepreneurship.
So,
Business owner, athlete, author, businessman,
what should we talk about first about him?
CEO.
Oh,
Well, like his
Are you gonna play a
upbringing
video?
on this in the streets.
So where was he born? Do you remember? Somewhere over by New York, right?
Oh yeah, he had I don't remember precisely where.
I think it was Philadelphia.
You looked that up.
And you looked,
You can help us out, but that's over by New York, right?
Yeah, I mean it's
Pennsylvania.
It's Pennsylvania, but it's close to. It's within a few hours because he'd drive into New York to do the comedy stuff.
Yeah,
And I think it was like a 4-hour drive or something.
something like that.
Talked about it in his book. I listened to his audiobook on I Can't Make This Up. That was a excellent listen.
And he reads it, right?
Yeah, he reads it, which is also, I love the fact that he reads it in
Yeah.
his voice, and then he also interjects other stuff.
Did his dad read anything?
His dad wrote something.
Yeah, I remember his dad wrote or said something in it, and I was like, oh, I bet you in the audiobook his dad read this, but do you remember that at all?
I think he might have.
Okay, because his dad's still around. He's fucking dying, but he's still around.
Yeah.
Um,
Like his dad's still around.
there's a story in there with the fucking boat. Do you remember that?
Oh man, okay. Yeah. He drove the boat and like crashed it.
Yeah.
And his dad was just, what did his dad do?
So he was, hey, you better slow down.
Oh yeah.
And Kevin's just like, what? Like, I don't know. Like,
What
you
that-
just kind of like let me steer the fucking boat. Like,
Yeah.
And his dad's like, you better turn the boat.
You better turn the boat.
Yeah. I like.
And then he crashes it.
Yeah, he crashes. And they just left.
And then they just left. They
Yeah.
just left the boat.
So I bought the book and I started reading it. I never finished it because I'm an idiot, but I made it like 90% of the way.
Yeah.
But that's a very easy read for people that don't like to read. So it's the first book I read in a long time, and it was very inspirational and funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't make that up.
You can't make that shit up.
I personally hate reading.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
words.
Lucky for
words
you.
are just hard, man.
Words are just hard.
Lucky for you, he just came out with a show on Netflix called Don't Fuck This Up, which is pretty much the book. You watched it, right?
Yeah, I watched the first episode.
I hate you so fucking much, dude. You knew we were going to do this.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But if you noticed...
I've read the book.
I know, I understand that. But the book, the show ends differently than the book.
Uh-huh.
Because the book came out before...
The accusations.
The accusations with the Oscars and shit came
Right.
out. Because I don't know, none of that's in his book, right?
No.
Yeah, so the book came out before that. But I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, fuck, I didn't have to read this book. Because he was literally going off like, hey, this happened, this happened. You know, they obviously
Yeah,
they can't hit.
my brother, my mom, and what she did, my
Yeah.
dad, and
Yeah, we talked about his mom for a second.
Mm-hmm.
She was like a very big influence in his life on the structure and schedule side.
Yeah.
Because his brother fell into
Drugs.
like selling them. I can't remember.
Yeah, selling them. Because I remember he was like, hey, Kevin, if you ever need anything, I got you.
Was it a gun? Or
No, it was money.
Money,
Like, he
okay.
had money. He's like, I got you.
I swear I read the book. I swear to God.
You knew we were going to do this, Alan. I hate you.
I hate it. But
I didn't watch the show. You didn't finish reading the book.
yeah, we are the worst at this. We take comedy very seriously.
Yeah, we take comedy seriously.
But he got the scheduling and the structure from his mom because after
he messed up, his brother.
Yeah, she didn't want him to mess up, and he literally was on a schedule from when he woke up to when he went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And it was either you got to be busy or you're going to be babysitted at, I don't know if babysitted is the right word. Babysat at, I forgot what that old lady's name was, but I don't know. She was just a babysitter and she was old. Kevin hated being there.
And he had to like sit down in the basement.
I think he went down there for fun.
Yeah.
To get away from everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where he gets all his structure from, because she would what is he did swimming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time swimmer.
He did a big time swimming, and then he had like a test. What is that called? The test at the end of the school year.
SATs?
For college?
For college.
Yeah, you get your SAT score at the...
Is that SATs?
Out of high school?
Yeah.
For like college?
But he fucked it off. He didn't know it was that big of a deal.
Right. Yeah.
He wanted to finish it because afterwards they were all going to go somewhere. So he just fucked it off, and he didn't know that it was going to fuck him in the end. But look at him now. He's almost a billionaire.
Yeah.
So
I guess it didn't fuck him in the end.
Yeah, it didn't.
He just took a non-traditional route to his own personal success.
Yeah. But what I liked about him is it's something that we're trying to do. Is we were talking about it the other night. They got a crew together when they started doing shows.
Right.
So they got a crew, like, so when they go to a town, they didn't have to put together a show. They didn't have to find the headliner.
Yeah, he had his buddies, and they had a whole program. They each do like 15 minutes, and there's like 4 or 5 of them, so that's like an hour and a half performance. Yeah. Yeah, they did that, and they started charging for an after party to make money off of that. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So they'd have an after party and get everyone to go to the after party, and they'd split it with the club. So you make another little chunk of change right there. What's his first special called? Do you remember? Is I'm a Grown Little Man?
I don't know. Is it
Go to Internet.
Laugh at My Pain?
Go to Internet Movie Database. I think I'm a Grown Little Man is his first one.
Yeah. He's got so many specials out now. It's kind of hard to keep track of these days. He does a lot of other stuff too. What was that?
He's a rapper. AKA Chocolate Joppa.
Chocolate Dropper. I forgot about that.
I've never heard his rap stuff.
I don't remember. I think it's a character more than anything.
Yeah, Chocolate Droppa. I think I saw him. Did he do one with Will Ferrell or something when they were coming out with Get Hard?
A rap battle?
Yeah,
maybe. I forgot about Get Hard.
I watched it recently.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. And
the comedians take pay cuts when they do movies.
How so?
They don't make as much money. But I think Kevin Hart does it because he likes to act. They make more money touring.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Tom Segura was just talking about how he had to take a pay cut to
be in a film.
Be in a film. And he was like, it was like a big pay cut.
Really?
Like over time, though, like you get more money in the long run.
Because you develop an audience. I mean, that's...
Well, that and like they're always going to sell that movie, right?
I don't know how that works anymore.
Me neither.
Especially with the internet.
I mean, I guess that makes sense because, like, the way I look at it, films are more like charity.
Yeah.
Like Kevin
tell
Hart's
me
like,
about it.
Yeah. Kevin's like, okay, I'll be on this one because I like it. I want to help my buddies out. They're trying to do something cool and put something together.
He gives a lot of credit to Soul Plane for his spike in popularity.
Yeah.
Soul Plane with Snoop Dogg, because they put him in it and they're like, just be you, because they saw him doing stand-up or something. They're like, just be you, man. And that fucking made the whole movie.
Yeah.
So the whole movie took off from Soul Plane. There might have been one more, something Soldier.
I don't know.
But what I want to talk about is the first special he did. I think it's called I'm a Grown Little Man.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look into that. But so the very first special he did, his girlfriend at the time, they got married because they had a kid. They got married, and she went on a fucking spending spree because he had some money.
Yeah.
And she was like, why the fuck do you get to spend all this money and I can't? So he, was broke, literally zero money in the bank. And he still had this special to do. So he went to the hotel, wrote a check knowing it's going to bounce.
Uh-huh.
Bounce a fucking couple checks there. And did his special. Literally, he's doing that special in the back of his head. He has no fucking money, dude.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane? It was a good special, too. But that's crazy to think about. Like, how, like, you're going to put on a performance like that when in the back of your head, you're broke. You know what I mean? Like you have like he had so much stress in his life. Like easily could have gave up, but he didn't.
Well, and I mean, kind of like that's one of the things. Like it's a concept called death ground that like generals would use to make their soldiers win battles. Like when your back's against the ocean and you're wearing full armor, you either drown or you fight back onto the shore. So he's like, hey, I'm drowning back here. Fuck it, let's have fun. You know, I mean, that could fuel, and definitely that has been a big theme in his career, is just not drowning. You know, so he's constantly fighting to not have that happen again.
Have you heard of the movie he's talking about doing?
Which one?
It's something Saturday night, something.
Oh, yeah. Saturday night. What?
This just like sounds like a song. Yeah. It's something Saturdays. I forgot what it's called, but I think. Are you gonna look that up right now?
Uptown Saturday Night.
Uptown Saturday Night.
Yeah. Uptown Funk You Up.
So his idea behind this movie is like, you remember back in the day? Well, you especially, not Tony, because you're 12.
I remember.
Yeah.
Like the movies would have tons of big ass names in it. It wouldn't just be like, this is your main guy, and then here's all these shitty other actors or lower actors. Like he wants to do a heavy hitting movie again. Like just all big names. Like every person in it's a big name. So that's one of his Heartbeat Productions work in progresses right now.
Yeah.
Besides calling people gay.
Oh yeah. Besides calling people gay. So that happened.
I'm still mad at him for that.
Right? After 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Son of a
what
bitch.
an idiot he was a decade ago.
Yeah. Fucking people like, I like the stance he took on it too.
Okay.
Like he was
he's like, I already said I'm sorry.
Well, he wouldn't apologize at first.
Right.
Like he was just like, hey, people grow. Like trying to get people to be like, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was like, people grow, blah, blah, blah. I think he wound up apologizing, and then people still wouldn't drop it. He went on Ellen, and people were like, hey, Ellen doesn't talk for all the gays, so we're still mad at you.
It's like, cool, be mad. Like,
yeah.
And
he lost the Oscars.
Yeah, which is like a career hit, but at the same time, it's like, how long are you going to hold a grudge?
Yeah.
I think that's his whole point. I mean, I grew up in a culture that was totally against gays, and you know, I remember my first contact with I remember like being in the high school quad, talking to my friends, being like, I don't like that guy, and they're like, well, why don't you like that guy? And I'm like, oh, you know, and I flip my hand forward, and they're like, dude, so and I was like, what? Like, not everybody hates gays? Like, that's weird. Now, like, and then I grew up.
Yeah. So
especially in theater.
If this is your first time listening, Adam used to be a Mormon.
Yeah.
Full-blownsies.
Full-blownsies, did the mish, rode the bike.
Where'd you do your mission?
It was the Tucson, Arizona mission.
And that's where you learned to speak Spanish?
That's where I learned to speak Spanish.
Did you learn to speak Spanish to go, or did you learn Spanish while you were there?
I learned Spanish for like 2 months in the Mission Training Center.
Nice.
In Orem, Utah. Great place to learn Spanish.
Is there obstacle courses in that training?
And it felt like it sometimes.
They're all, okay, ride your bike 4 miles. You're going to want to jump over these bushes. Get to that front door.
Once you get 2 blocks in, there's going to be a barking dog.
No, but this
Then a naked lady's going to open her door.
And you've got to not get an erection.
If you had one story to tell, what would it be about doing that?
The mission?
Yeah.
One story at the Mission Training Center. Okay.
Or anywhere, like doing missions or whatever.
The one I want to tell.
Yes.
Is about the Mission Training Center and they've changed this since then, but they had communal showers. Just, like locker room showers. We called it the Tree of Life.
Beat up gays in there.
Yeah. No. we named each other's penises because it was something to do, and it was novel to us.
Don't look at me. I don't like the way he looked at me.
Because it's like, okay, I grew up like constantly covering myself up. Like, I gotta make sure my body's not exposed. And then the first day in there, it's like, all right, men, take showers together. You know?
And this was your time to shine.
And this was my time to shine.
What was your penis's name?
Rosebud.
Rose? I don't like that.
Because, it's just, pretty. It's like, I mean, generally female genitalia is compared to flowers, but mine was the butt, like just this pretty little.
What were some of the other ones?
Bullet of death.
Bullet of death.
No, cube of death. Bullet head. Old goat. Yeah. We had some.
What do you call yours?
Small.
Small.
I'm pretty proud of how straight mine is. I think you've heard me talk about this before.
No.
So I would call mine arrow.
Arrow.
Like a bow and arrow.
Like a bone arrow.
Boner arrow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was just a really, and there were guys who would go home because they were gay and they couldn't handle like showering with all the other dudes.
Because things happened.
Because they'd be like, oh God, please no. All these, fit young men just running around, and they got
whipping each other with towels and steamy showers.
And steamy showers. It's like, okay, put me in like the ladies' locker room and see what happens.
Yeah. So when did you go home? How long did it take for you to go home?
25 and a half months, man. It was brutal. That being said, it was like, if you aren't a different person than you were 10 years ago, then you're probably not living your life right. And so when he made gay comments like from a decade ago, and then like he has to answer to those today and like lose out on a career because, he was homophobic 10 years prior, that seems kind of,
And like a lot of people on his staff are gay.
Yeah.
I know he has like a lesbian chick that like was struggling with the whole gay thing and like comments, but she was saying, I think she took it as a time to shine, her 5 minutes of fame. But she was like, oh, Kevin Hart, like working with him, I've just seen how much he's grown and blah blah blah. I think she was just camera.
Well,
it's like one of his assistants or something. I can't remember.
Well, I mean, how you treat somebody at the end of the day, that's what really matters. Like how you treat an individual.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even at work, still tease people about being gay. And it's like, it doesn't even matter.
I had a boss that was gay.
Yeah.
I told her to go suck a tit.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it now these days. Like, everybody's just like, Adam, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, blowing dudes and breaking hearts. Like, what I do every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You should just do that to the new guys.
Suck their dick.
Yeah.
Just hold them down
and suck their dick. So yeah, Kevin Hart, right, guys?
Yeah. I mean, what's he doing now besides the Saturday night thing? He's still on tour, right? He's got to be.
Probably.
He has like 5-6 specials out or something.
Yeah. I think he's on a 2-year cycle for his specials.
Yeah.
Because he was talking about how one a year was just too much. Couldn't refine the stuff. You got to take it out on the road. And then he's got like a movie every year that he's doing, like one movie that he's in. And then he does the What the Fit YouTube stuff.
I forgot about that. That's hilarious stuff.
That's funny stuff. I like watching it. I put it on. He gets guests. And
my favorite one's with Bill Hader.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. I saw Paul Rudd and Anna Kendricks. Yeah, Bill Hader.
The Bill Hader one, he's just like, hey, man, like, come over to my house. And he's like, all right, well, I'm here. And they're like going through a bunch of Amazon boxes, like opening them up, like, oh, hey, look at this workout thing. Let's try this, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, Bill Hader's like looking around. He's like, is this your fucking house, dude? And he's like, photos of like a white family. And then Kevin Hart's like, yeah, man, it's my house. And then like at the end, it's not his house.
It's not his house. And they were just rummaging through people's packages. That's funny.
Yeah, that was a cool twist on that episode.
But with no, it wasn't Paul. What? Anyways, he did one that went to medieval times, so that was kind of cool. doing swords and stuff, riding horses. He's a good sport.
He is a good sport. Fucking. To take a step back to when he was coming up, there was this another part I read in his book because I read.
Tony. He's like,
He was on stage one night and he was trying. You know, people can see that like this guy's got it. You know, he doesn't. You know, he needs to learn more, but he's coming up. And he was on stage one night and someone threw a fucking phone book at him, and he was just like, "What the fuck is that?" And I think his name's Patrice O'Neill. And he said, "Why don't you read the phone book? There's better material in there," or something like that. He's doing this in front of a fucking crowd, you know? Yeah. Kevin's up there trying to work, and he fucking threw a phone book at him.
Damn.
Yeah. And that's who, I forget his name. Richard Fuentes is his name, the guy from Open Pupils.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully we can have him on the next episode.
Yeah, who's that guy?
Richard Fuentes?
Richard Fuentes?
In town?
Yeah, he's in town. There's a podcast called Open Pupils. So we covered a little beginning of his beginning. You would travel to New York to do comedy every night?
It was like every week at least.
Yeah, at least once or twice a week. And, you know, obviously.
And it was like a 4-hour drive, so he was driving some dude out there.
I forgot his name. He was a big thing in comedy. If I heard him, I would know who he is. And he kind of just showed Kevin Hart the ropes. He did that with Big J Okerson. These guys are like the last line of dirty comedy.
Oh, really?
Literally fucking skanks, dude. Like,
they're the last line of dirty comedy? Because, like, everybody's talking about sex these days.
Yeah, but it's getting so PC or cancel culture now. Like people are scared. Like, these guys don't give a fuck. They built this whole thing all by themselves. So
I don't know what it is, Tony. Why are you like?
They don't care.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't care. All right.
Listen to the words that I say.
They're the final word in Rebel Pups.
It's got to be Legion of Skanks.
Sounds right.
It's not Legend.
Sounds like that.
Because
be a thing.
So for my birthday last year, we went down to LA to go to the Comedy Store, like we do every fucking year, and we were gonna hang out with Brian Moses. So we're supposed to get breakfast with Brian Moses. He's the host of Comedy Central's Roast Battles. Yeah, and he was running late, so he's like, "Hey, just come with me really quick. We got to do this podcast, and then we'll go to breakfast." And I can't fucking remember the goddamn name.
In the podcast?
Yeah. There's a Mexican guy in there.
Sean Patton?
Nope.
Joe DeRosa?
There's a Mexican. Sean Patton.
Louis J. Gomez. That's fucking it.
So I got to sit in a podcast with Louis J. Gomez. Like, these Legion of Skanks fucking groupies kill for the position I was in.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I didn't even, like, I knew of him because of the Palmer Squares, and he was wearing a Palmer Squares hat, and I saw him at the Comedy Store the night before. I was like, "Hey, man, it's a sick hat," thinking he'd just be like, "Thanks," walk off. He stopped and, like, made sure he, like, made eye contact with me and was like, "Hey, man, thanks." And, like, we did the awkward, like, I didn't know what he was going for, dabs. Yeah. And then, like, he hugged me and just, like, walked off. And I was just like, I don't know what happened, man. That was awkward. Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
Well, whoa, awkward interaction hug things.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. And then the next day I saw him because I didn't know Brian Moses was doing a podcast with him. And we went down to, it's like where MTV and shit, like, they have a building. Yeah. It's like MTV, like a whole bunch of networks. We went down to the building and he was about to walk in and I was like, "Oh, man, I'm going to go, like, hey, man, like, what's up? Like, I like your guys' podcast, Legend of Skanks," not called Legend of Skanks. So I'm glad I didn't go fucking talk to him.
They'd be all, thanks,
you fucking idiot. You don't even know what it's called. Book. I think we should do a podcast on that guy. That guy's fucking pretty cool. Yeah. And it would kind of get into the Legend of Skanks. Or, see, Legion of Skanks. Like, their whole, like, we don't give a fuck attitude. Yeah. So he just came out with a comedy special. So when I was... by saying it in the podcast with those guys, I was just sitting in the corner. Like, they made fun of us most of the time. It's like, he was all, "You guys normally just have a couple of white dudes sitting in the corner of these things?" It was me and my brother. Yeah.
Yep. Steven? There's a lot of connection here in Ridgecrest. Like, for this place being just at the edge of nowhere.
Yes.
There's a lot of connection. You did that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that goes on here. Movies, fucking. There's a lot of talented artists.
Lady Gaga was just here.
Yeah, Lady Gaga was just.
Did you see that video?
No.
What was she here for?
Filming the music video at the Pinnacles.
And they were just filming Star Wars out there, like a month or a week or two before that. Yeah, there's a lot of. We can do a whole episode on that shit.
Yeah.
I think when we have a guest like Adam, or
Adam.
The one
Levine is going to be here?
No, not Adam Levine. The one.
Did you hear about the fucking the actress that got stabbed?
No.
Reese
Witherspoon.
No, with a knife.
Yeah. Nice. You're
I
on
stole
your
that.
way up.
100%
You're on your way
stole
up.
that.
You're on your way up, Tony.
Yeah.
These are the beginning.
Ass,
these are early days for you.
Mm-hmm. It was stolen, so.
Oh,
those ones I think are like meant to be stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did you hear about the Indian that drank too much tea? My wife loves this joke.
Oh, something about his TP.
Yeah, he drowned in his own teepee.
Yeah.
She fucking every time we see a teepee, man.
I heard this one.
That seems likely.
Yeah.
It was like how calcium makes your bones like stronger and helps you grow, help your bones grow and stuff. Well, like apparently you can get calcium through kissing.
How's that?
Well,
because it makes your bone grow.
Yeah, you kiss a hot girl and your bone grows about this much.
that's like an elementary joke.
Yeah.
Hey, guy's boner. Oh. So the guy wants to be a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
That's his goal. I don't know how he's not already there. But like in the whole episodes, he's like driving around in like badass cars and like he's taking, which is all dropping a bucket to him right now even. But like I was like, why doesn't he just cut back on that shit? Like he's driving in those Mercedes vans that have like just the two seats in the back, so it's like super roomy with like, you know, you have a computer or
right. Okay.
It has like a satellite on the top and shit. But I was like, man, if that guy just kind of cut back on that shit, he'd probably already be a billionaire. But
it's worth $200 million.
That's it.
That's a lot, dude.
I
don't know.
I
understand exponential growth. Like once you
worth.
hit like a certain thing, once you hit a certain trajectory, like it just starts to explode.
I don't think he's gonna hit $1 billion unless he like makes fucking another Amazon.
Well,
right?
I see why that's his goal now, but I thought he'd be way closer than that.
So his net worth is $200 million.
Mm-hmm. But like what I'm trying to say is like he bought like 10 classic cars.
Yeah.
To give to his crew. Because he wants to show, like, hey, I care about you guys. Mm-hmm. Like the Plastic Cup boys and his trainer and his haircut guy. They call him, I think they're all Plastic Cup boys. But they call themselves Plastic Cup boys because when they were broke, they were drinking alcohol in the back rooms, like in the green rooms.
With the plastic cups.
Plastic cups. But he buys them all fucking classic cars. Like I'm talking like fucking Cobras and, you know, Ford Mustangs. And is that the same thing?
No.
Oh, but yeah.
They can be.
Yeah. But he's fucking like, you know, I was just like, I mean, I get it. Trying to show your crew how much you care, which is awesome. And then one of his, remember the accident he had? Up in the Hollywood Hills? He
broke his back.
Yeah. Like they went, I don't know if it was one of those cars. It was actually his personal car, but his buddy was driving. And they rolled it off one of the hills.
Oh, damn.
And fucking broke his back. And his funny bone.
Yep. Lame.
Literally.
Because he broke his femur.
Yeah.
So he can't walk.
His femur?
That's your funny bone. Oh, no, it's your humerus. That's an actual bone.
Yes. I get it. It's funny. Fuck, what else can we talk about, man? I mean, he's the biggest thing out right now. I mean, the Oscars thing made him... I think it made it even bigger.
Yeah.
I think everyone's already forgot about that.
You think he can host this year's Oscars?
Yeah.
I bet you he could.
I don't think he needs to.
Mm-mm. No, he doesn't need to host
I think that was just one of his goals.
Mm.
Like, he got like super excited about it. Like, he's like, this is a big thing in a career. So.
People still watch that stuff?
Yeah.
The Oscars, see, I don't know. I think that's all taking a dive.
I remember that used to be like the coolest thing. You'd watch it on
fucking
whatever, MTV or whatever.
Network television.
Yeah. And
you can probably look up the viewings.
Now you just look at a 10-minute highlight video of, oh, look who performed.
Ricky Gervais fucking just slamming everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much just that. Whatever goes viral.
Everyone was just like, I think that's going to ruin his career. I don't think it did.
No.
Yeah.
It was already over.
It was already over. He was like,
his career's already over.
Well, his hosting career on the Golden Globes.
Oh, for sure, dude. He laid into everybody. That was the viral video that year.
Oh, man. I found it so refreshing, though.
I don't know. Like, we settled so much about Kevin Hart. Like, I don't know where to kind of end it on.
Okay, so my takeaway from this guy's kind of career and life is hard work and focus.
Yeah, that's
like he put in the hours. Like, that's the thing. You know, people are like, you know, oh, it'd be great to just get up in front of people and act like an asshole. Ha 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 ha. It's like, that's not what he's doing. He's not getting up there and just acting like an asshole. There's like there's a skill set. There's a discipline to it. There's a iteration process where he goes through and, you know, carves out comedy and then refines it and distills it. You know, there's that impulse where you know that there's like something funny here, but like mining the humor out of whatever situation you're trying to develop, you know, takes time and you know, dedication. And that's the thing. That's why he's worth $200 million, is because he puts in the time, he puts in the work, he puts in the hours. And I think that's, you know, amazingly inspirational, but it also shows when you laugh. Like, you know, laughter's the best medicine. I think he's you know, Dr. Hart.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I think he's actually talented and funny. I mean, some people just aren't funny. I mean, Adam, you can resonate with that. But,
yeah, I'm so lame.
Yeah,
I have like no comedy chops, man.
But that's like one of their things is like they have a chant that says everybody wants to be famous, but no one wants to put the work in. Mm-hmm. And that's what they do. They put fucking work in.
Yeah,
especially early on, because they'd show up early. And they'd have to go out and hand out flyers, and they call it barking. Yeah. In the comedy world, they go out and bark, and it's like they would stand like in a mall and just be like, "Hey, come check out this show," you know. And like they try to be funny and try to get people interested in it, and that's how they would sell out shows. And then eventually they would have enough money to send, but they would send out like a crew before they even get there and get it going. So when they show up, it's just time to work. Yeah. You know, time to put on a show. So, but yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like, if you can get a hold of that book and read it, or if you're in Tony's case, don't read it.
Listen to it.
Listen to it on audio. Would you,
Audible?
On Audible, like, would you do that?
Listen to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I want to do that too, because I wouldn't, like, even though I read it, I wouldn't mind listening to it again, but I wouldn't fucking read it again. Or try to read it.
He interjects jokes and stuff that I'm pretty sure aren't written in the book, like in the text.
Yeah.
So he makes commentary and stuff that's like outside of the book.
Yeah, and then
his audio recording. And it's cool because it's him reading the book, and so, you know, you get that sense of his story, which is really cool.
And then there's timing. Like, if you don't read the sentence right, you don't get the joke, or you don't get the funny part of that sentence. Yeah. Yeah. And he's fucking, dude, between his facial expressions and his comedy timing that's him. Yeah. So
funny dude. Check out his work. Large body of work.
He's a
small body man, large body of work.
He's got to be an A-lister, right?
I think, yeah, these days. Sure.
Can you look that up? If he's an A-lister or not?
I mean,
I want to do a bit about that.
What?
Because people call my last name's Leister, but I get Lister a lot.
Oh,
and
A-lister.
My first name is Alan, so A-lister.
A-lister.
Like, I want to do a bit about that.
How you're an A-lister?
I'm an A-lister.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised you guys haven't heard of it.
I don't know what that means.
So there's A-listers, B-listers, C-listers,
and
D-listers?
I guess. I don't know.
I don't remember. But A-listers, someone says Kevin Hart, you know exactly who they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, you say Kevin Hart in a crowd and, like, 90% of the people, it's a household name.
Yeah, definitely.
B-listers, you'd be surprised how many B-listers there are. I think B-listers, the definition of B-listers, you can see them, but you don't know their name. You're like, I know that guy.
Yeah, I know that person.
Yeah. And then
they're fairly.
I don't know what a C-lister is. Maybe you know their name, but you don't know their face.
Yeah.
But we can look that up. But
they're like the extras in the shows that show up on just one episode as a guest.
So let's talk about the future of this show, The Edge of Nowhere. I think we're gonna have some guests on, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking at Adam. What's his last name?
Bingham.
We never even asked him, but I think we should ask him because he did.
He studied like opera and performance.
I think it'd be interesting to talk to him. The voice actor you were talking about. No, okay, never mind.
I don't know the dude.
But you said he knows him, right?
Yeah.
Who?
The guy.
The guy with the voice. He's got two eyes.
I did the voice for the Paperboy play.
The voice.
Newsies. He did the intro.
He did the
no photography. Blah blah blah. That guy.
He did the intro with the recorded intro.
I think.
I didn't actually see. Like I didn't.
All right, so we'll
he always wears a jacket that has speed on it, like the old TV channel.
That's weird.
He did the announcing for Pink's All Out for like a bunch of seasons. The drag racing show.
Oh no,
that'd be fucking really cool to get. I think I know who you're talking about.
He's a voice actor.
The illegal drag racing TV show.
No, that's.
Oh, okay.
But it was.
I'd still like to get
Pink's
him
All Out. So like, is the bald guy looks like James?
Look up Pink's All Out narrator right now. I'm pretty sure that's on the internet. So while he looks that up, I want to try and get Chris Keeling in here. He did. You were in his short movie. What was that called? You played a racist.
Yeah, kind of like some southern, like plantation owner, like post Civil War.
Hold on a second.
And my mixed race friend from childhood came back.
Yeah,
and we're trying to I'm trying to save the. It was interesting. It was something like a reunion of drifted friends.
Yeah. And then another guest we want to bring on is Richard Fuentes. We talked about him earlier in the episode. They have an Open Pupil podcast. Not 100% sure what's going on. I listened to one episode. They have a bunch of merch.
Oh, that's cool.
So maybe I can get him to bring some shirts or something. Well, who's like anybody? Would you be interested in bringing anybody on? We could bring on Elvis.
Yeah, he's cool.
Elvis Renard. Not a lot of people know. He doesn't like.
Everybody else knows him as Roger.
Roger. Well, yeah.
He's just fun to talk to.
He's fun to talk to. He had a band. That'd be cool to talk about. Elvis Goes Hagen. That was a big thing for a while. He's so fucking funny, dude. That guy is one of the funniest people to talk to. Like, he knows how to fucking have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Tony? Who would you like to bring on, Tony? I mean, we had Marcus Lamalley on once.
I just went to, what's it called? Like the Hoonigans? Do you know that Ken Block stuff?
I saw Marcus Lamalley post something about that.
Yeah, I was there with him.
Yeah, and if you guys want to,
with
Marcus,
Scott.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like Scott. If you guys want to go back to the episode of Marcus Lamalley, he talks about his streetcar racing and the underground part of it. Is that all we talked about?
Was it racing?
It's not racing. It's takeovers, right?
Oh, yeah.
When they did, it was all takeovers. And we talk about his Instagram, which is pretty cool. He makes badass little videos. And that's another part of the future for this podcast is we're going to try and get video. What do they call that when you do video podcasting? Just a video audio podcast?
I think
YouTube.
Yeah, they call it. Yeah.
And then once that's why we have a sponsor now. Nice Cats Tattoo 123 Grande Way Sweet D.
Sweet D.
But
go get some Sweet D.
Yeah, go get that sweet tats at Sweet D.
Nice cats, nice tats with some Sweet D.
We'll have to do a couple of those afterwards.
Yeah.
But now I forgot what I was talking about.
The future of the Edge of Nowhere.
Oh yeah, so remember. we're gonna have fucking we're gonna try and get on Spotify, which isn't. It's just $10 a month. That's why we got a sponsor.
Yeah.
And he said, I'll put it on a credit card. I don't give a shit. And it's all write off for him.
Yeah. That's cool. Advertising.
Yeah, advertisement. I want to talk about that you guys haven't brought up the fact that I have a badass mustache now.
I was looking at it. It was like Paul Tuttle's fucking senior up in this bitch.
But I've been playing Red Dead Redemption a lot, and that's why I grew a mustache.
Yeah, that's when you grew the mustache.
That's when I grew the mustache. All right, so yeah. Follow us. Like, subscribe.
Follow, like, subscribe, share.
Look us up on Spotify one day.
Share, friends.
Share, friends.
Friends share.
Have your mom pick you up before midnight.
Is that okay?
Is that okay? Oh my god.
Friends share good things.
All right. Thank you guys for joining.